What's up, Mike Reynolds? Out here on the land of peppergrass this morning. Used to be called Lake Toho, but I think we're gonna rename it Lake Peppergrass. What's up, what's up, what's up? Absolutely beautiful day out here on Lake Toho. We got beautiful, cool, really dry wind out of the north. It's about 65 degrees out here right now. Pretty incredible. Try to get on some fish. Got a string of trips coming up over the next few days out here, artificial only. So like any good guide would do, we got to make sure that we are dialed in for our paying customers. What's everybody else up to this morning? Y'all are probably all at work, huh? Boogie Frogman Walker 863. I like that name. Boogie Frogman Walker. Working hard. Mike Leggett's at work. You better be at work. Mike, you guys got a tournament coming up out here, buddy. Frogging is my thing. Man, frogging is my thing too. I absolutely love frogging. It's actually what I'm gonna go hunt for today is a frog bite. I'm gonna wait till the sun gets up a little bit more. Any good frog fisherman knows they bite the frog better after it gets warm. Good morning, Manny from Porsche Orlando. Manny, what is up? I need you to get me the hookup on a Porsche SUV to tow my boat to and from the lake every day. I'll let you guys wrap it. Yes, sir, you got my attention. Let's go. Well, Jason called me last night wanting to know if I was fishing that 2-day coming up out here. I will not be participating in that one. I have got too many guide trips on the books. You guys will have to come out here and have all the fun without me. Man, peppergrass out of control out here. You fish Lake Toho, your lower unit better be in proper order. A lot of reverse and forward, reverse and forward, reverse and forward, keeping that grass cleared off the prop out here. Well, you'll be missed for sure, but I'm sure it's that time of year that your business really picks up. Good for you. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. I got bills to pay, so we got to take the guaranteed money instead of the gambling money. Be a fun tournament to fish, though, for sure. Actually, this is one of the first years that I'm actually kind of around this time of year. Usually my wife and I are up in Tennessee for a few weeks this time of year, but not this year. Not this year. Hello, Titanic. No Titanics out here. Titanic sunk. This Phoenix ain't fixing to sink. Not on Lake Toho. Getting some graphing in this morning. Looking at all the grass. I'll say this though, guys. If you guys missed my last video that we uploaded yesterday, and you got a tournament coming up out here, I suggest you go watch that video. What's up, Mike Fletcher? What's up? Out here on the big toe this morning, Mike, trying to make sure I'm dialed in for guide trips. I don't have the, I don't know if I'd call it luck or fortune or what. I just don't seem to book all these Shiner only trips that all these other guides book, so constantly got to be dialed in. You don't want to have paying customers on board your boat that expect to go catch them on artificials and not go catch them. That's a bad deal. A little bit breezy out here this morning. Might have to go fish the north end. I don't know. I usually try to avoid the north end of this lake like the plague. Can't stand the north end of this lake, man. I like the south end better, but when it gets rocking and rolling out here, it gets rocking and rolling. Where's everybody fishing at this weekend? Somebody tell me a fish story. Did anybody catch them this past weekend? Goodness. I'll tell you what, man, this lake can get gnarly. She's not as bad as Kissimmee or Toho, but she get rocking and rolling down here on this end. Or Kissimmee and Okeechobee, excuse me. Yeah, Lake Kissimmee gets bad. I've ate some pretty nasty ones down on Lake Kissimmee before. Lake Kissimmee and Lake Okeechobee, you're probably, as far as Florida goes, Lake Okeechobee, Lake Kissimmee, and Lake George on the St. Johns River, as far as spearing waves goes and having to pick up all my personal belongings that were trying to float away in the bottom of the boat. The biggest water, yeah, Harris gets bad too, boy. I'll tell you what. I have fished a couple of tournaments out of Buzzard Beach, or Venetian Gardens, excuse me. And that, if that wind is really cranking out of the north, man, you're stuck. You are stuck. You ain't getting out there, getting out on the main lake or anything like that. Man, that lake gets to rolling. The biggest water I've ever been in, close race between Pickwick and Kentucky Lake. Pickwick and Kentucky Lake get really crazy, crazy nasty. I have seen some waves on Kentucky Lake that scared me. Sure would be cool if I just rolled up on a school of like 8 to 10 pounders out here schooling on shiners. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? Don't see that kind of stuff too much anymore on Lake Toho. I have seen it though. I have seen it. I was fishing a tournament out here one day with an old buddy of mine, Steve Coleman, and we were flipping outside grass. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, about 20 to 30 feet inside the grass, a group of 8 to 10 pound bass, I kid you not, came up schooling on shiners. And we caught 2 of them out of there. One of them was 11 and one of them was 9. Yeah, Lake George is probably the worst I've been on. George gets bad. It gets crazy bad. Problem is the lake is so dang shallow, and it's just a big, huge bowl. Lake George gets gnarly. CAM Productions. What state you fishing in? We are in Central Florida. Probably Central Florida's best lake, Lake Toho. Out here hunting down the elusive group of giant bass. So much grass in the lake anymore that they get hard to come by. And I can tell you, if it continues to... Have y'all got any bass yet? Not yet. I just got out here. Just got out here doing some graphing, trying to dissect the never-ending submerged grass out here. We've got more hydrilla, eelgrass, and peppergrass in this lake than I've ever seen. Louisiana. Man, I love Louisiana. We just did a crawfish boil at my house yesterday, matter of fact. It is crawfish season, man. I am a crawfish junkie. I can eat Cajun boiled crawfish until they're coming out of my nose. Rigs to Twigs, love in Alabama. Live in Alabama. Do you fish Lake Gunnersville? Lake Gunnersville is probably the best bass fishery in the country right now. 5 pounder a few days ago. That's a nice one. It's a nice one. Do I use live scope? Man, I do use live scope. I love live scope. I don't know about the future of live scope though. All the people crying about it. I don't know. I think they might make a complete ban on live scope. Get with it or get left behind. You know, I agree 100%. 100%. My personal opinion on live scope is like take it or leave it. I love my live scope. It's always on. Love using it. But if they ever ban it, I don't care. You'll catch me on the bank with a flipping stick, a spinnerbait, and a frog in my hand all day, buddy. It ain't gonna hurt my feelings. I fish Smith Lake, but I've never been to Gunnersville though. Man, I hear Smith Lake's pretty tough. Here it's pretty tough. Gunnersville, I don't know, man. I don't know that as far as largemouth bass goes, I don't know that there's another lake in the country that can compete with Gunnersville right now. I don't think there is. That lake is incredible. The amount of 20 to 25 pound bags that get weighed in tournaments there is just, it's insane. You don't see that in Florida. You might see somebody drop a 20 or 24 pound bag on the scales. Second place will be 16 pounds, and then it drops off pretty quick from there. Man, Gunnersville, if you fish a tournament that's got very many boats in it, if you ain't got 20 pounds, you ain't getting it. Fish a lot of gar. It's not my choice, I just won't stop showing up down here. Yeah, but y'all got big giant gar out there though, those big alligator gar. These things are pretty cool. These things are pretty cool. Bags are nuts these days. Man, if you're talking about Gunnersville, it's insane. It is insane. I try to keep up with tournament results all the way around the country. I always look at the results from Gunnersville, and from first all the way to 25th will be over 20 pounds. It's insane. What kind of bait? What kind of bait for what? It's a very broad question. What kind of bait? I've got 2 massive gar on Toho, 5+ footer. Me too. Me too. I have had clients catch 2 of the biggest gar that I've ever seen in my entire life, and I have had a client on a shiner break off on one of the biggest gar that I have ever seen in my entire life. Lake Toho has got the gar. Huge gar. Yes, I am a full-time bass fishing guide. Camping at Kissimmee State Park this weekend. Man, I have not been down there in a long time, but I will tell you this much. This time of year, I have had some of my best bass fishing days on Lake Kissimmee, literally fishing just outside of the state park in those pads right there. Those fish show up there every year in the fall, right outside of the state park, man, and it gets so good, so good. Punching mats, throwing a swim bait, or big easy through pads, or a big speed worm. That's the dream, being a full-time bass fishing charter. Some days it's a dream, and some days it's a nightmare, buddy. I can tell you. Some days it is a nightmare. But it is better than working 7 days a week in the mines, which is what I used to do. So we'll take it. And fortunately for me, my wife's got a great job, and that helps a lot. I imagine you got to bring out a bunch of city slickers. Yeah, I bring out whoever wants to pay me to go fishing. There's no there's no picking and choosing. That's for sure. I just like taking people bass fishing, man. That's what I like to do. This hydrilla mat that we're pulling up on is looking pretty dang good, guys. It is looking pretty dang good. Beautiful topped out hydrilla mat up here. Hell yeah, I'll drop a sub and a like, but I gotta go, y'all take care. I gotta go too. We're rolling up on a hydrilla mat. I need to catch some fish. So to everybody that tuned in and watched this little 20-minute live, I appreciate you guys. Rigs and twigs. Is the water real cold down there? I'm going back to Florida soon. The water is never real cold here. It doesn't get cold here. Hell, we're lucky if we see it get down to 50 in the wintertime. I'm talking like coldest. If water temp on Lake Toho touches 50, that's cold.